Coming up on today's show, 5,500 people have signed a petition to stop deer culling at a park in Salford. It's understood that RHS Bridgewater shot 10 deers after promising to relocate them. A couple in Salford are raffling off their house and car for £2 per ticket.
Just thought £2, like, it's dead affordable for everyone, and people are more inclined to buy, have a few more goals.
A new mass testing centre has opened at the University of Salford Sports Centre this week. Students will be able to get a free COVID test before going home for Christmas. Salford charity Dancing with Dementia has donated dolls to care homes across the city. And Earlham Rotary Club will be doing virtual Santa Claus appearances for children this year.
We had to put our heads together, and fortunately we've got some really great resources, and we decided to film our own Santa.
Good evening and welcome to Salford Now. Salford City Councillors have met with the owners of a wildlife park where 10 deer were killed over the weekend. It comes after public outrage following the cull at RHS Bridgewater in Worsley. Our reporter Florence Freeman is there now. So, Florence, what happened at the meeting today?
Hi, so 5,500 people have signed a petition to stop deer culling at a park in Salford. It's understood that RHS Bridgewater shot 10 deer as part of a revamp of their 156-acre garden after promising to relocate them. After a meeting with the RHS and the council earlier today, Salford City Mayor Paul Dennant says the RHS recognises mistakes have been made. In a joint statement with the city's wildlife champion Louis Nelson, Mr Dennant wrote on Facebook, RHS Bridgewater representatives have expressed contrition and regret in relation to recent events and have emphasised that an explicit aim of the garden and surrounding area is to increase and expand the biodiversity of our city for many animals, including deer. Paul Dennant also said that the RHS has promised to consult the community before any decisions are made about the wildlife in the park. The park was supposed to open this year, but it's been pushed back to early 2021. It will focus
Thank you. We'll move on. With the end of the second lockdown in sight and end of Tier 3 restrictions on the way, one of the challenges facing the government is getting students home for Christmas. A new mass testing centre has opened at the University of Salford to help make that happen. Our reporter Jessie Sale went down earlier today to see how it's going so far.
I'm outside the sports centre where students can get a free rapid COVID test before going home for Christmas. This is Salford University's solution to the student travel corridor. This is ideal for those who are worried about travelling back to their family. There has been around 10 students in the past half an hour. Earlier in the week, our reporter David Poucher took a look inside.
This is the new mass testing centre at the University of Salford. It's where thousands of students will be able to get a free COVID test between the 3rd and 9th of December before going home for Christmas. But how does it work?
So the testing it's a self-swab, so the student will come in and they'll test themselves, and then we've got a process operative that will mix all the solution. The student just has to wait about 30 seconds to a minute until we've got the control line on the test. Once we've got the control line, they can go away and our results team will contact them up to 24 hours after they've had the test.
The tests being used are called lateral flow tests and are for people who don't have coronavirus symptoms. They are quicker to use, but are potentially far less effective than the PRC tests, which are used for people who have COVID symptoms. Fears are also growing that the self-swab tests will not be as effective as the ones carried out by trained physicians.
Anyone that attends will find that all of the operatives that will be working with you when they're processing the test are able to guide you through how to do a swab. There are also diagrams and mirrors on each of the booths to help you perform it and do the swab as correctly as possible. And we've also got myself and several other senior people involved in this process. So if you are particularly struggling and you need talked through guided advice with one of us, we can provide that, or we can actually do the swab for you. So there are ways we can mitigate against that risk.
But what did Salfordians have to say about this?
I think it's best to do it, especially in uni, people having parties and that, they're not meant to, so if they're going to get it, the best to be tested just before they go home and see their grandparents, I suppose,
Yeah, I think it would be very irresponsible of them not to bring it back, because I think everyone would be going back to their hometowns and then possibly bringing something back.
The aim is to test the approximate 20,000 students at the university. However, there are no plans as of yet to continue the testing after Christmas. With just days until students from across the country start making their way home for Christmas, only time will test the effectiveness of the mass testing centre. David Petra for Salford Now.
Salford charity Dancing with Dementia has donated dolls to care homes across the city. As mood swings can be a common part of the condition, the aim of the dolls is to keep residents calm and give them a sense of responsibility. I'm joined by our reporter Molly Goodwin, who spoke to Leslie Fisher, the founder of the charity. Thanks for joining me, Molly.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about Dancing with Dementia and what they do for the people of Salford?
Yeah, of course. So Dancing with Dementia is a charity that puts on events every week for people to go to that have dementia and their carers to socialise and, listen to live music. But because of lockdown, they haven't been able to meet anymore. So care homes were reaching out to Leslie, who's the founder, and we're saying there's people who are crying in their chairs, they're not seeing anybody, they're missing their relatives, so we need something to lift their spirits. So that's how the dolls idea came about.
And how do the dolls actually help the residents?
So with dementia, a common part of the condition is they can get quite angry or the signs of aggression. So the dolls help. If you kind of love a doll and the doll kind of loves you in a way, it'll help people to relax, which is what Leslie saw with one resident in particular.
The dolls have this calming effect on the people, and I've told you the story about the lady who was sleeping most of the time, and when she wasn't sleeping she was very angry, a little bit aggressive, and the doll has calmed her down.
And how are the dolls better to alternative methods of calming residents?
Well, Leslie told me that if you're violent and you may be like a kind of a danger to yourself and to others, then medication is a must. But these dolls have taught her that kind of looking at alternative ways that are more natural and cost effective can be quite useful for people with dementia.
I think if holding a doll or a cat or a dog or whatever will calm them down and have the same effect as a sedative, I'd much prefer the doll, the cat or the dog.
Thank you, Molly. A home is the most expensive thing that most people will buy in their lifetime, but one Salford couple wants to give away a house and a car for just a couple of quid. Gemma and Anthony Reid are raffling their home and a car for £2 a ticket. The pair will use the ticket money to emigrate to Australia. Molly Chapman has been speaking to them.
This might be the sort of video you find on any estate agent's website, but this house isn't for sale, it's up for grabs in a raffle.
Brother's been out there for over 25 years now, and I've wanted to go ever since. And then I managed to persuade my husband when our little boy was 6 months old, and he went out there and loved it. So we decided that was what we was going to do.
The couple first put their house up for sale in March. However, their dreams of living in Australia didn't last long as the first lockdown restrictions began in the UK.
Really struggling, it was really bad timing, and we'd seen another house, Prize on Manchester, and they successfully raffled theirs off in like 6 weeks, and we was just like, wow, like that's amazing, they got out of it what they need, and someone won a mortgage-free house, so we just thought, what the hell, like let's have a go.
This caused a series of low offers due to the predictions that the housing market would crash.
We just want to start our new life. We're just at the point now where it's like it just needs to go, and we just want to get started in our new venture. So yeah, I mean it is sad because obviously we love the house and it's got a lot of memories and everything, but it's time to let someone else.
The couple might be ending their time in Salford, but they are looking for a new adventure down under. Elle McDade reports.
Now, for any children watching, I can reassure you that Father Christmas will definitely be able to visit on Christmas Eve. But for kids in Earlham, Santa will be making a virtual appearance, reading stories every night to spread the Christmas spirit. Our little elf, Olivia Davies, has more.
Coronavirus has taken over the year, and with Christmas on the way, it's also changed how we will celebrate. But for the children of Earlham and Cadishead, Earlham Rotary Club want to make sure they still get to see Santa Claus this year. Every year, the charity drive around the community with Santa, so children can meet him and donate money to the club. This year, they've had to adapt, and the kids will now meet Santa virtually.
We had to put our heads together, and fortunately, we've got some really, really great resources, and we decided to film our own Santa. There's some lovely stories that have been written. They're all very unique, and 2 children have also joined in doing that. And also a young gentleman has helped with all the filming and the backgrounds. Everybody has really, really been trying to keep it on a low key to surprise the children of the local area.
Santa normally visits these very streets, but instead this year he'll be going live. You can catch him from Wednesday the 2nd of December every single weeknight at 6:30 p.m, right up until Tuesday the 22nd of December. Jane is so proud of what Earlham Rotary has accomplished.
I know it's not the same, but they have worked so hard to put on this for all the children. So we hope that the people and the children will really love this opportunity.
The organisation is pleased the visit can still somewhat go ahead, and Jane is very grateful money can still be raised.
At the bottom of each film night, there will be a little Just Giving page. It means the world to us if people, they've been so generous in the past. It's just this year we're not out there personally on those streets.
Some parents are upset that their children won't be able to interact with Santa face to face this year. Sam Turner, a mother of two, is one of them.
Because the kids look forward to it, like they look out the window, like my road especially doesn't get seen to, but we'll make the effort to go onto another street just to see him. Them doing it online, I think it just kind of takes the spirit away from it.
She's still very appreciative of the time and effort Earlham Rotary Club are making to ensure the Christmas spirit is still here.
But it's nice that they're still willing to do something and they're keeping that spirit up.
Olivia Davies, Salford Now.
That's all we have time for today. You can keep up to date via @Salford Now on Twitter and Instagram. Goodbye.
Thank you.